By the way, I don't know if you guys are following all the stuff with the government, the loans and the things. Man, it can be very confusing. And our friend Abbey, I'm going to bring Abbey on. Why don't I just do that? Abbey, you want to come on? Is Abbey still here? And maybe just give us like the 5-minute thing, and we could just go down a total rabbit hole with this, and I don't want to do that. But the fact is, it's confusing to know, like, should you be applying for these loans? What's going to need to get paid back? When can you expect that money? Do you qualify for this money? Abbey, how are you? Nice to see you.
Hello, I'm good.
Great to see you. And thank you for all the work you've been doing. The minute this started, I talked about, like, this is like, people have instincts and they react, and your reaction was to help, as it always is, right? And you first thing you did was start the fund, and were able to help so many copywriters and freelancers who just needed money quick because things happened and they were affected by this, and you helped them do that. And then and this was so heroic to me, you dove into the government paperwork and policy, and holy smokes, spent your entire weekend reading this crazy new bill that was passed and trying to decipher it so we could all understand it. I've had my experience with it. What are the most important things for us to know about this aid, and if and how we should apply for it?
Yeah, so I made a big guide on, it's freelancecoop.org/CARES Act, which breaks down all the things. The big thing is there's a lot of misinformation that all freelancers should be applying for these SBA loans. And so they're loans and grants, but most of the grants are only for payroll expenses. So the big act that everybody's talking about is this Paycheck Protection Program, and it's called that, right? Paycheck Protection Program. And so it's basically to lessen the burden on the unemployment system, to give businesses money to keep people on payroll. So if you don't have any employees, it's probably not a great program for you. And so 75% of that loan for it to be forgivable, has to go towards payroll expenses. So yes, it's open to freelancers, and it's open to a lot of businesses that normally don't get help, but it's for protecting payroll. So that's like the big thing that there's all this misinformation that everybody should be applying. And so I'd encourage you to look at other programs, like maybe unemployment in your state, if you need some government assistance, rather than the SBA program for most freelancers, because most freelancers don't have people on payroll. Contractors don't count, so it has to be like actual employees. Right. So
yeah.
So that's just a big
maybe to exemplify, it's helpful. So that's what I ended up applying for. My bookkeeper said, you really should do this, right? And again, I want to talk, psychologically for a second. I was at first like, you know what, man, like, there are so many businesses that need that money, need that help. I'm in an industry where I'm just going to move forward. I'm not going to think about like safeguards or bowling bumper. Like we're just going forward as if, but like my bookkeeper said, and the logical thing is like, look, we don't know what the future holds. And this is a safe gap. This is a thing that for the 10 minutes or whatever it takes to apply, you should really be in the process, because what you don't want to do is find out a month or two down the road that things are different than you hoped, and it's too late now to apply for this money, right? So just to put into context, the PPP, Paycheck Protection Program, applies to me, but only for part of my business. So I'm an S Corp. I am myself an employee. I pay myself a certain salary as part of my earnings for my business. And then I have Laura, who is my only employee besides me. I'd like to someday get to the point where the people who work in my company are all employees, but mostly they're contractors, right? And so, like you said, what will actually be protected will be a very small part of what I pay out to people, but better than nothing, right? And so paycheck protection doesn't mean your personal paycheck, unfortunately. It means a business and like you said, the idea is that if this money works the way it's supposed to, restaurants, places like that who are shut down right now can just pay their employees what they always pay them. And hopefully that'll be enough to sustain the employee and the business until we can get going again, right?
Yep, exactly. So that was the big thing that like I've seen just with wrong information. And then there's tons of other stuff happening for freelancers. Unemployment's opened up for freelancers for the first time. And then the stimulus check, which for most people, you don't have to do anything. You'll just get a $1,200 check if you make less than $75,000 a year. So yeah, so there's a lot of good stuff happening, but I did want to make sure that I talked about that because I've gotten a lot of questions about that of like, should I apply? And so, yes, like if you qualify for a program, like that's what that money's for. So absolutely, like apply for it. If there's grants, unemployment, all that stuff, like don't feel bad about getting assistance at this time because it's so much better. The one thing Laura Belgray, I think, said on your live stream, like when it comes to the economy, like we are the drivers of the economy. And so if you're not able to do anything, like you need to get money and move that money around. So, so if you qualify, absolutely apply for this stuff, but just be careful of what it is that you're applying for.
That's great. I know we linked I just want to find where we linked you. It was probably in the how chiefs are responding to coronavirus, or maybe it was Mike or somebody who would know. Could you find that and post where they can find Abbey stuff there in Copy Chief? Or we could just also say it right here. Freelance co-ops /CARES Act. Is that what it is?
Yep. freelancecoop.org/CARES Act. Yep.
Okay, cool. Yeah, awesome. And again, like Abbey, just like filtering this information for you, a trustworthy person. What a gift. What else has happened? And Abbey, like in your own business, I mean, you've been so busy doing this. How are you making money? How is, you know what I mean? Like you got to keep your own income coming in as well. You've been this like traffic cop for information and resources for everybody else. How's Abbey Woodcock Inc. doing?
Yeah, so the good thing is that our business has been, we've done the Profit First system, which I know you do in your business too. So like we came into this in a really good place. And so that's been really helpful. And so we're really spending this time of like, okay, when we come out of this, like how can we be in a better place? And so, Facebook ads you were talking about earlier, like Facebook ad costs have like, for me, they're a third of what they were. Like, so we're like doubling down on Facebook ads and, putting out this content. Our list has grown like crazy. And so, yeah, as far as like things coming in, most freelancers are in a tougher spot. So, revenue's not coming in at the rate that it was, but we're in a good place. And so it's been really fun actually of like, okay, what like content can I produce? What kind of like things can I give to my audience so that, and publicity has been a big thing. I just found out on the cover of Syracuse Woman magazine this week. So that's really cool.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. So a lot of cool stuff is happening. And we're just looking at this as like, okay, this is a time of growth in a different way than we're used to. So
yeah. I love that because the minute you started the freelance co-op, which is it's an online, but it's also a physical space, a co-working space in New York, where you live, where you were born, where you were raised, where your grandfather started the dairy farmers co-op many years ago. I just loved it. It resonated with me so much because it was so you, and I saw how passionate and on fire you were about it. And it's just loved watching you develop that and continue to grow that passion. I know you're just as passionate about like how your business affects your local community as it does, the online community.
Yeah. And that's why I was so excited. I read the article that just came out this morning, the Syracuse Woman article. And I posted, I'm like, it's a love letter to my hometown. Like the building that we're in and the article, they really, really did a good job of like capturing the local, like, passion. And we've been really involved in the local like business community over the last several weeks, especially restaurants. And we're big, like like going out to eat people. And so,
Yeah.
you know, talking with people, you know, Annie from Bagel Grove, who's copy chief member in Escape Velocity, she's awesome. And so, you know, just helping the local community as well, that's struggling right now, and like how we can be a part of that ecosystem has been, you know, that's why we do it. So
it's great. I love everything you do, Abbey. It's so great to see it all happening. None of it surprises me. This is what you always do. Step up as a leader. It's your instinct to care for others and just be really smart doing it. I love it. So thank you for that. All right, Abbey Woodcock, everybody. Please thank Abbey for all she's been doing and use her information. I think that's how you can probably thank her most, is use her stuff. I think that's what any of us want who really care about what we do. It's like, do it, do the stuff.